Come for us, we're gonna come for you, and we're gonna ride out in parks. Let's come together and feel alright. One love.
I just fell in love. I just quit my job. I'm gonna find no drive. Damn, they work me so damn hard. Work by night, then off past 5. And they work my nerves, that's why I cannot sleep at night. Motivation. I'm looking for a new foundation, yeah. And I'm on the
So I really want to talk about something. I don't know where it's gonna bring me. Like, I know I don't have a big enough community to have a conversation, but like when I really want to have a conversation about this, I would want an open conversation, with different opinions, so we can really have fruitful discussion, because some part of my chest a long time, right?
I'm glad you brought it up because I've been dying to talk about it for a fucking hot minute. First of all,
two things, really shake it up a bit. So last week was character games, and if you follow character, Jamaicans follow athletics enough. So we've heard about the controversy surrounding the meet and how it was carried out, and the perceived, I don't want to say attitude, but just how the Jamaicans were treated and just how the athletes felt, right? That was one thing. So I'm like, okay, right. Then today the Shade Room posted, basically yesterday was Carnival, the road march, and Shade Room posted it and for Jamaica Carnival 2023. So in the comment section, at first I didn't pay no mind, at least, or when I saw the post, like all of the top comments were like, yeah, Jamaica, blah blah blah. So I'm like, whatever. So then I saw somebody's status, and the person was basically saying like how the Trinidad attack just Jamaica Carnival, it's distasteful and whatnot. So I went back to the comment section, and lo and behold, they were getting like them and get out them licks, So at first I was confused. I was like, people were saying that soca was theirs and Trinis and all kind of something. And at first, like, and if I'm being naive, like, I am so sorry. I think a lot of Caribbean countries have carnivals, and Carnival keep in Miami and other places around the world. So why, when Jamaica keep Carnival, like it's a big thing and it's offensive, and we're stealing Trinidad's culture or taking credit for soca music and Carnival? And I was like, y'all are just being haters at this point. So I commented like, girl, save me, because like I used to comment a lot on things like that, social media, like the Gleaner, but we never ever comment on Shaderoom. So, but it was near and dear to my heart, and coming off our character, like, me just feel stressed out about the whole situation. I'm tired of it, honestly. So I commented, and I was like, because I'm a comment under somebody I was saying that basically, like, we just take like Carnival for a one day thing, and how it was like, just the person was saying where it came from and why they had Carnival. And I was like, but other people have it too, so what is the issue? I'm like, by the way, Jamaica has been having Carnival since 1950s. This is not just the first year. Like, where were you all of this time when Jamaica had Carnival? And then, another person commented, and I was saying, okay, so I forgot what she was saying, but then I'm never going to have the approach like, oh, cuss, maybe like talk when me think, right? So I was basically saying I don't understand why it's an issue for Jamaica to have Carnival when other Caribbean countries have Carnival too. Yes, soca originated from Trinidad and all of that, but we as Jamaicans, when we enjoy something, we're not like thinking like, oh, by the way, that's Indian culture, we cannot do this. Like, no, we're doing it because we clearly love it, so we're doing it in celebration. Like, I think that should be taken as a compliment, and it's really cultural appreciation. So I don't understand what was the big deal. So this person went on to tell me that basically if another Caribbean place or country was claiming ackee and saltfish, that was the example the person used, a lot of Jamaicans would be, you know, happy and saying basically, oh, that's not a XYZ country thing, that's a Jamaican thing or whatever. I'm like, no, I don't believe that at all, because me feel like say Jamaicans appreciate people who appreciate our culture. And don't get me wrong, I know say Jamaicans are a special group of people, you understand? But one thing for sure, two things for certain, our motto out of many one people is not just about, and not just that it literally means out of many one people, meaning that we have a lot of different, and we understand that it's a big melting pot. And then when people look at them like, oh, but your population is 97% black, so how is this melting pot? Me feel like it's the attitude. So like if a Chinese man come down here, I probably should use Chinese. Jamaican themselves to use the Chinese. But people who has lived here for, you know, a long time, and they're Jamaican by nationality, them born here, them socialized here, they are Jamaican. There's no way a Jamaican will tell you like, oh, you're not Jamaican, you're Chinese. Like, first of all, I'm going to be very candid. Like, me notice something. It's I don't want to call a country name, but even though we're in the West too, it's a more westernized culture to pick apart somebody and feel the need to put somebody in a box, right? So for example, I'm calling them like England. Like, you go up there and you say you're English or you're British or whatever, like somebody else with an outer pocket would ask you like, no, where you originate from, you understand? It's not enough to say you are British, like, because you don't look white or whatever. They want to know where you came from. Like, no, me did born here, my grandmother, me born here, my grandmother, my mother, we born here, I'm British, but at the same time I'm gonna tell you say you're not really British because you're not white. Jamaica is not like that. You're Jamaican, you're Jamaican, you're Jamaican, that's it. So we kinda like, if you love, we will love you, you understand? So I've never understood why Caribbean countries and other Caribbean, like, why they're so, I don't know, attacking. Like, they're just so upon the offensive, and like Jamaica will defend, but them upon the offensive. Like, they're always picking apart Jamaicans. For example, character games, right? Like, we hear how Bahamas people them that go on towards the Jamaicans and all of that, and even take it further than just the character games. Like, too many, like, we live in the Caribbean, like we have something in the Caribbean, CARICOM, and I thought that CARICOM was supposed to be something, but really and truly it's nothing, you understand? Because at the end of the day, let me use the example of why I always get pissed and I will always defend Jamaicans to the T when it comes to this, right? We here say borders open between CARICOM countries, right? Why is it that when a lot of Jamaicans go to some places, like from them regions like attitude stand up, you get denied entry, all of that, there's like this biasness towards Jamaicans, but yet still everybody have key to Jamaica door. Anybody can come here. Jamaica not partial, we not biased when it comes to them something there. So me have a problem with that, because me I like, oh, so the rules of CARICOM only work for Jamaica, but when Jamaicans show up somewhere else in the Caribbean, it's a problem, you understand? And I don't think that's fair. Like, I always defend Jamaica when it comes to that. And people, like, alright, so me get it. I understand why there would be an issue with Jamaicans, but as to wanna try make it say, I mean, I really think of that. You're saying that it's cultural and give credit where credit is due, but in my opinion, I never saw any credit being taken. You understand? Me never hear no Jamaicans say soca is Jamaican. Me never hear nobody say carnivals originated here and it's our thing, you know, understand? So like, what was the issue? But then like, call a spade a spade. The issue is that Jamaica got highlighted globally for something that did not originate here, and that is the main issue. So like, my God did very unfiltered right now. So you just have to do with a little bit of envy mix up in it. So understand that, man, let's say, tell it straight. The brand Jamaica is global. Like, we not have to try hard for Jamaica get acknowledged globally for something, you understand? And that's no fault of our own. Like, I just saw the thing set, right? That's the Jamaican in me, we're full of myself, period, right? But then that's where the saltiness comes from, you see, because we have that I don't know, that global marketability. And I wouldn't call it marketability, but I just call it pull. Like people love Jamaican culture, and me feel like that's it. So man, like, but instead of just accepting and appreciating that a lot of the Caribbean countries pit themselves against Jamaicans, and I don't like that because it bias bad. Like, I told the person, like, listen, me know I say Jamaicans can get out of pocket, and especially if you come for we're gonna take it too far with you. Like, we're gonna go to the extreme, we're gonna take it to the tip top. Like, that's just it. We're gonna defend our country and we're gonna run out like a pack of wolves, you understand? And I'm so sorry for those who are not respectable enough. Like, I will apologize for that, but you really can't fault with, you cannot fault with, especially when you come for us for something so, you know, I call it insignificant, but so, like, what are we even arguing about? Like, what we are really arguing about? Like, why are we arguing why Carnival I keep a Jamaica? Like, you keep everywhere, so why is it that a Jamaica the problem? Because the rest of the Caribbean have a problem with Jamaica for no fault of our own. Like, I understand, so it must annoying for people like say, oh, the Caribbean is Jamaica. Like, I understand would annoy too if I never live in Jamaica. You understand? If somebody says that to me out of ignorance, because it is ignorance why they make comments like that, I would correct them. Because me, like, me are the solidarity girl. Like, me believe in a Caribbean solidarity, and if we didn't move together as a unit in this region, like, we could have do so much more as a people. But guess what? You see that same legacy of slavery there with this one your head house slave and this one or whatever. At the same mentality we make her bring up with we, and that is just ridiculous. Like, we come from one region, and for me, like, as a Caribbean woman, because even though I'm a Jamaican, I'm a Caribbean woman, it just hurt my heart when I see that solidarity there among people who with shared history. Like, the person went as far as to tell me, like, it was a celebration, like, where it came from and why Carnival was a thing. I'm like, yeah, but you know, say slave did everywhere in the Caribbean, and never just Trinidad or Haiti or whatever. They were everywhere. So yeah, I understand. So like, oh, fierce, I'm not for what talk like that. Like, the slaves in that country do this because of this reason, but the slaves in Jamaica couldn't do that because whatever. Like, yes, somebody came up with the idea to do this, but yeah, say that was an uncommon or a rare thing in the Caribbean. Like, the whole, like, we were a colony. Like, oh no, we did a colony. Like, so yeah, and that's the reason why I said the person was hating in the first comment that I made, because that's what it came off. It wasn't like, oh, you know, big up Jamaica for celebrating our culture. It was like, no, you guys, enough to celebrate Carnival. I'm like, why not? I just hate the fact that we're not together as a region and we could accomplish so much more. We have countries in the Caribbean choosing which part of the agreement that CARICOM they want to adhere to and which part they don't. And it is ridiculous, like we move like separate where we can be such a powerhouse in this little Asia. Like we know so we little and we come from little islands, but you know, we team up, we have sizable, you know, one good enough population to make change. Why is it that when if me want go on, I've never been to any other Caribbean country by the way, but why if me go on Caribbean country, I have to, the cheapest way to fly there is to go through Miami and then fly to the Caribbean country? That don't make no sense to me. Like we're all just, like I feel like no Caribbean country more than 4 hours away from each other, like, and that's pushing it because we know say probably way less than that, and flights very rare, they're very expensive, and it's ridiculous. You understand? As a Caribbean national, I should be able to see a job in Trinidad and apply for it and feel okay enough to move to Trinidad and vice versa. But it's not like that. Like I went to WeFit on Saturday night and Bungie Garland was performing, and he asked, like them always like a shout out which country they are, and then he was like, who are the Trini them here, and a lot of Trinis were in the crowd, and he was saying that like growing up he always heard that no go Jamaica or cause whatever, they don't like Jamaica because Jamaica don't like we. And surprisingly we hear the same thing. Like we hear the same thing. It's like, oh, they don't like us, but really and truly, like I don't see any Jamaicans really forming any agenda against any other country, but I see other countries in the Caribbean teaming up against Jamaica. So make it make sense to me, because you know say we just not pick no out of hat. Like at Caribbean, the poor at least them use, like, and that's the thing, you understand. I mean, you know, Caribbean understand the same way because we have shared history and just how we grow and just the mentality of our people. It's so close. Like if you're a job, nobody, like no Caribbean now go just sit down and take the job there, them go attack. And that's what I saw in the Caribbean games. Like the poor elite, them they frustrated, so anytime people them go for interview them is peer attitude, like, and at the time the show about it and go start, because guess what, like we're gonna on top of the game and we're gonna tell you so we're on top of the game, because at that point it's like you're comfy with you, we're gonna show you, like we're gonna silence you, we're gonna shut you up. And that's the attitude a lot of Jamaicans have. So when any little spot happen between Caribbean countries on Twitter or anywhere else, the Jamaicans are gonna take it to the extreme, and I'm so sorry for those who are very disrespectful, but really actually you can't blame them, and I would apologize for them that much unless they cross some really bad lines. But like, and I can't jab and expect one big tongue. That's all me I say. But, and that's my little rant session. I need to wrap this video up. But to conclude, like, I wish we had more solidarity in the Caribbean. I wish we could move together as a nation. I wish we could get over our old grosses, because if you research, this is the history of slavery, and some point somehow we get brainwashed as to where is the good countries and the bad countries in the Caribbean, and surprisingly Jamaica's on the top of the list from them the days they are now, because of how popular Jamaica is in the rest of the world. And we find it like a little bit interesting that the person who was defending, who I was having a conversation with under the post, was not even Trini. The person was Haitian. I'm like, you know, say we are the stepchild of the Caribbean, right? But yet still, when it comes to it, you would rather team up with somebody against Jamaica, because it's the same mentality. It's like we have to unite against the Jamaicans, which is ridiculous, because they will unite against someone else now. They will unite against someone else. I'm sure the Jamaicans would have ride out for if needs be. But if you come for us, we're gonna come for you, and we're gonna ride out in packs. So yeah. that was my little rant session, and I think this gave me inspo to make videos, especially when it's a hot topic in my head, like someone may think about or go through, because you really gonna have me talk. And that's why sometimes I don't even tend to talk much when I don't feel like, because I'm gonna say a lot of things and I'm gonna have enough opinions. One thing about me, should have an opinion. But yeah, like as my shirt says, and then I see it, like we're trying to build legacies. You understand? We are trying to build legacies, and tit for tat, the fighting, that's not the way to do it. And let's come together and feel alright. One love. Alright, signing out. Goodbye.
I'm not going no small fret. Let me extend my apologies. Only big fret with big flag going overhead like canopy.